city.
Let's do this, y'all. Come on.
It is 96.5. It is Rapid.
Now you can go global rapidly. You can listen to us from anywhere in the world at www.rapidfm965.com. Plus, you can get social and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and other social media platforms at Rapid965FM.
965FM.
On WhatsApp, it's 091 60 333 965.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It is a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. This is beyond partisan politics. It's unfortunate. And these are the kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with the happenings in the polity.
Nigeria is on drink and on oxygen. And how can we get out of this?
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of his family. And he must protect me.
Standpoint. The center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
Hello, good morning, and thanks for staying tuned to the lineup of programs on Rapid 96.5 FM. This is Standpoint, and of course, the last edition for the week, and we apologize that we're coming slightly behind schedule. A number of developments in the build-up to the program coming on air. First of all, we're expecting our guest, the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association, Umahia branch, in the person of Jasper Jimofor, Barrister Jasper Jimofor. But we're just getting word that Josie is on strike, and they are at Government House as we speak. So the likelihood of my guest getting here probably before the show comes to an end is 50-50. But all the same, we will do our bit to keep you informed and on top of developments as they evolve. Remember, we always keep our ears to the ground and our searchlights beamed on developments as they evolve right here in God's own state, Abia State to be precise, and of course across the southeastern part of Nigeria and Nigeria at large. So much happening in the build-up to the May 29th inauguration of new government at all levels, at federal and state levels. But today, we had intended to look at the legal system and wage theft challenge, the challenge of wage theft. Of course, when you talk about wage theft, the subject of corruption comes to play. Well, the fight against corruption has remained a constant priority for the government of President Muhammadu Buhari since its inception in 2015. Now, corruption has been identified as one of the main spoilers of Nigeria's ambition to achieve the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and in particular of its aspiration to lift more than 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in the next 10 years. The efforts made to prevent and counter corruption in its various manifestations has earned Mr. President the role of the African Union's anti-corruption champion. Of course, let's not forget, talking about poverty, Nigeria seems to have overtaken several other countries and become, these days you hear that phrase, Nigeria has become the poverty capital of the world. Sadly. So, the ambition of lifting 100 Nigerians out, or 100 million Nigerians out of poverty, has it been achievable? Has the Buhari-led administration been able to establish some success in this direction? thus far. This and many more will be part of our conversation. Remember, we're looking at the Nigerian legal system and wage theft challenge. Sometime last week, we did talk about a whole lot more about that. But let's take a few messages and we'll be right back.
My guy, which kind of paint have you used? We go make my house go well.
Na Sackloss paint.
Paint we go make my house shine.
Sackloss paint.
What about paint we go last for plenty years?
Na still Sackloss paint. Sackloss paint na ogbonge paint wey don win both national and international award on top paint matters.
Abeg, where dem dey?
Dem dey nationwide. Sackloss paint get one ogbonge wey dem call Sackloss satin paint. If dirty touch the paint, you fit use water and soap take clean am cha-cha. Sackloss paint get other ones like emulsion paint, test coat, gloss, sack flash car paint, matte, industrial marine coating, red oxide primer, aluminium, screening paint, auto varnish, and other barbarous products. For that correct building paint where you need na Sackloss paint. Their price na shipping. For more information, call
0701 855 2224.
onye nke m cherekwa ka m gwa gị o ebe ọwụ na Konak Foundation efurula ntụtụta n'ahụ ka dịrịrị ọhaneze mma ha ejikọ n'aka ha na ndị Faith Care USA iwetara ọhaneze nke ndị oyibo na-akpọ free medical outreach agwọmọrịa n'efu ewo anya ọ na-eme gị penyo ezo na-akụ gị komkom ị nọ na njikere maka owo agwọm ụmụaka enyemọgwụ nakwa ndị a ga-eme operation n'efu na ndị ọzọ ọnụrụ karịa ibe ya o nke a ga-adị site n'ụbọchị 22 ruo na Sọnde ụbọchị 29 nke ọnwa Eprel 2023 na Madonna Hospital Aba Road Ụmụahịa Abia State ọnụrụ karịa ibe ya o echefukwala na ndị niile a ga-eme operation n'efu ga-abịacha na Sọnde ụbọchị 22 maka nnwale site n'elekere 10 nke ụtụtụ ruo kweri n'elekere 12 nke ehihie nke awụkwa free of charge o fee ọsị chai ngwa kọtụrụ anyị n'ekwentị na 091-324-44444 ma ọ bụrụ na ị nwere ihe mgbagwoju anya nke ọbụla. Konak Foundation nakwa Faith Care USA ịgbanwe ndụ akwa mgbasị ka ọhaneze.
Celebrating your family and friends has become cheap like a cup of tea, easy as ABC, and rapid like it should be. You can send birthday greetings and goodwill messages on Rapid FM for just 1,000 naira. Other events like weddings, child dedication, housewarmings, religious and government functions go for even less, 500 naira. Now, your loved ones have no excuse not to celebrate you rapidly on your day because all they have to do is visit our website at www.rapidfm965.com/request or call 07049 220965.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It is a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. This is beyond partisan politics. It's unfortunate. And these are the kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with the happenings in the polity.
Nigeria is on drink and on oxygen. And how can we get out of this?
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of his family. And he must protect me.
Standpoint. The center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian.
Thanks for staying tuned to the array of programs on Rapid 96.5. And if you're just joining us, this is Standpoint. I am Kamian John, the beloved, also known as the controversial. And before we went on that commercial break, I was laying the ground foundation of what ought to be our conversation this morning: the Nigerian legal system and the wage theft challenge, looking at the subject of corruption. Of course, I did highlight the fact that the fight against corruption had remained a constant priority for the government of President Muhammadu Buhari since its inception in 2015. Well, talking about the subject of corruption that had continually been at the forefront as far as the fight against corruption is concerned, a whole lot has been put on the table. But unfortunately, as we speak, my guest, the chairman, Nigerian Bar Association, Umuahia branch, in the person of Barrister Jasper Ejimofo, is currently at the government house, and we hear that Labour is currently staging a protest, and we will be joined shortly by the chairman of the Labour Congress here in Abia State, in the person of Uchenna Obigwe. Good morning, Uchenna. Hello, good morning, Uchenna.
Good morning, my dear.
Yes, nice to have you join us very short notice. Let's go straight into the matter. What exactly is going on as we speak?
Over what?
Well, we hear that Josie is on strike, and of course there's been a whole lot of issue regarding labor of late in the news. So what is the status of the NLC as we speak in Abia State?
Yeah, a couple of days ago, the Josun brought their letter to the office indicating that the national leadership of Josun has declared industrial action in Abia State. I was not told they had already started before they made it known to me. And when from the document they gave to me, they said they have communicated government and that it was a resumption of suspended strike, 14 days ultimatum.
Yes.
And they said it is on issues that have been canvassed, and I agree with them, with the state government of Abia State, that the chief judge of Abia State, who is in acting capacity, should be made to be substantive. That they had an agreement with Abia State government in 2016.
Okay.
Where an approval for their conduits, that is salary structure for judicial workers, was reached, and they have been being paid, but they said they regret for 4 months arrears have not been paid. That is one of the issues. And the third one was that the annual leave allowance for judicial workers, which was promised by the chief executive of the state to sure that it's being paid on March 2023 to all judicial workers are not yet to be paid.
Okay.
And lastly, they say they have financial autonomy, and I feel the issue of financial autonomy have been granted to them by the federal government.
Okay.
And in Abia State, the governor is one person that will not joke with whatever decision that have been reached upon. And I think similar thing, if it has not been done, it should be done. And if it has not been done, government should invite them to dialogue to address this issue, because there are issues of fundamental, and it should be upheld. We want peace in the service. We want peace everywhere.
Okay.
If we say there is peace in a state where crisis erupts in the labor circle, it's not yet peace. So I do advise that there should be total peace. More so now that elections are being held. And there may be one litigation or the other for people to say their mind about the election and to fight for their rights. Judiciary workers should not be allowed to go on strike, because it simply means that it will affect the democracy we are practicing.
Okay. Now, from the way you sound, it's like Labour aligns with this the strike action of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, Abia State chapter. Is that what you're saying?
It was declared by their national leadership, not the state.
Okay.
And the labor in Abia State, we are not aware, but they brought the documents saying that it is their national leadership that declared it.
Okay.
And where are we to say no?
Okay, fine. As the case is, but they are also using that opportunity to insist on the confirmation of an acting chief judge of Abia State in the person of Justice Lillian Abai as the.
Maybe it was part of what they canvassed to their national leadership.
Okay.
Because that particular one is the state affair, and it is equally a national affair. Because it has to do with National Judicial Council, which is national issue.
Okay, so right now, what is the position of Labour in Abia State, especially with concern to JSU, Abia State chapter?
Our position is that government should give an opportunity, a platform for parties to discuss. Because yes, it is a national declared strike. If we agree at the state, the same state will call the national. And what is it? These are simple things. Do swearing in of already accepted acting chief judge. Who conduce ideas of foremost. Government can agree with the union at Abia State. Rome was not built in a day.
True.
1, 2, 3 months. We may say we'll pay each of the arrears. Maybe we'll start with 2 months, or we'll start with 1 month. But let it be regular. And the 4 months will be cleared. And everybody will be happy. The issue of leave It's equally what they have to agree. You cannot agree without a round table discussion. And nobody should shy away from the discussion for peace to reign, for the judicial workers to be themselves, and for the state government to still have confidence on the judicial workers.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Mr. Uchenna Obigwe, the NLC chairman, Abia State. It's still Standpoint on Rapid 96.5. We are looking at latest development as we speak. The Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria, JSUD, Abia State chapter, are on strike, and they are at Government House as we hear and as we speak, and we are doing our bit to see how we can bring you more developments from that strike action.
This May, if I may, is a month to anticipate, because something new is coming. Something good, you'd love it. Not one, not two, not even three, but four. 4 new ways to keep you entertained, educated, and informed. 4 new shows will be born on Rapid FM next month. This May, on its first day, we unveil Blazing the Trail. Brace for impact. Brace for impact. As the Victor Ikpeazu's administration counts down to its last days in office,
the new administration come May 29.
Come, let's take a look at the performance of the outgoing government through the eyes of you, the people. Standpoint Special Focus Edition. It's an evaluation of the projects and policies of Governor Okezio Ikpeazu's government in the last 8 years in Abia State. It's a democracy, a government of the people, by the people, for the people, and now evaluated by the people.
Can't continue like this now. It's a very bad one. Someone is from here. At last, the governor of Abia State has done us proud.
Standpoint Special Focus Edition.
Special Focus Edition.
Every Monday in the month of May, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's hard to get into tech, especially if you've got no training. It's like a child without a parent. It's even worse if you can't afford it. But today is your lucky day because you can kickstart your career in digital marketing, graphic design, back-end and front-end web development with a 1-month free internship program at Burge Technology Hub. Yes, you heard it. It's free. Starting from the 1st of May to the 30th of May, you will learn everything you need to know in order to start a new career in tech. There'll be a hackathon where the best team wins a sum of 100,000 naira. So, what are you waiting for? Register now at www.burge.ng/BIP or call 070-4423-4511 for more details. This free internship program is powered by Burge Technology Hub in conjunction with Rapid FM, Burge Host, Gavice Logistics, and Extreme Exchange.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It is a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. This is beyond partisan politics. It's unfortunate. And these are the kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with the happenings in the polity.
Nigeria is on drink and on oxygen. And how can we get out of this?
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of his family. And he must protect me.
Standpoint. The center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
Thanks for staying with us. It's still Rapid 96.5 FM, and this is Standpoint. I am Nkamiang John the Beloved, also known as the Controversial. Today, we had intended to look at Nigeria's legal system and the wage theft challenge, but latest developments have made it that we needed to shift our focus to activities in Abia State Judiciary, which have been grounded by a 14-day strike action declared by members of the Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria National, and of course seriously complied by the Abia State chapter. Now, the strike, which commenced on Tuesday, has been enforced by Abia State chapter of Junsun, despite alleged failed plot by a faction of the union to frustrate the strike action. Now, the judicial workers are demanding the confirmation of the acting chief judge of Abia State, Justice Lillian Abai, as the substantive chief judge. A statement signed by the Abia State chairman of the union, Prince Eze, and Secretary Edward Okono, said the judiciary staff called for the confirmation of the acting chief judge. They are also demanding their inclusion among the civil servants to benefit from leave allowance payment announced by the state government in March of 2023, amongst other demands. The statement by the judiciary workers said there would be a way from service for 14 days to press home their demands. It would be recalled that an enforcement team from Jusut had stormed the Umahia Judicial Complex on Tuesday, sealing the entrance to the High Court and preventing any judicial activity in the court. Now, to forestall a breakdown of law and order, the Abia State Police Command drafted a police squad to the High Court complex, and the visit on Wednesday showed that 2 security staff of the court were heard directing people to come back in 2 weeks' time. Now, the front gates were also under lock and key. Now, those who came to swear affidavit in the court were seen loitering outside the gate in disappointment. And we also understand that the Abia State Election Petition Tribunal, which uses the court complex, have relocated to a new venue according to our news sources. So these are the latest development. And before we went on that break, I was having a conversation with the NLC chairman, Abia State, in the person of Mr. Uchenna Obigwe. Mr. Uchenna, now as it stands, are there feelers? Have you gotten any feelers so far that this issue can be resolved in the shortest possible time? We know that a 14-day ultimatum has been given, but is there any likelihood? Do you have any feelers coming in suggesting that government on its part is engaging the executives of Abia State Josun, and on the part of the NLC, are you wading into the matter to try to see how quickly this can be resolved?
Yeah, that is exactly my job, to wade in, to ensure that there is peace in the system, in the service. So I've opened discussion with government, and by God's grace, because it is important, any state or nation that do not take the judicial system serious will eventually not have things going the way it's supposed to go, because the judiciary, the arm of the law that can bring to, human beings are very difficult to manage. Human beings are the only creature of God that is very, very difficult to manage. And it is only the word of God and the judiciary that can bring them, cow them, to make them be human beings. So we do hope, by God's grace, as I'm speaking to government and speaking to judiciary leadership, let's see what next week will be. because the most important thing is let government shift ground and let judiciary workers shift ground so that there will be peace.
No, but before
the situation where judiciary workers will insist, you can't get 100%. And the situation where government will insist, it will not all go well. So the truth will be, both government and judiciary workers must make sacrifice for us to move ahead.
Before now, what was the position of government with regards to the demands put forward by the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, Abia State?
If the position of government had been positive, they wouldn't have gone ahead to declare the industrial action. But another thing is that, as I said, there was ultimatum. You understand? Government might not have given them a palatable
response.
Yet for them to strive. That was, what labor leaders or unions use what they have to get what they want. The judiciary workers know the importance they play in any society. More so now that we have gone through elections and there will be one petition or the other and all whatnot. And that of Abia State will not be a difference. And that is why maybe they took to themselves to canvass for whatever they want at this particular period. And that is why I say, so that nobody will be deprived of judgment. Nobody will be deprived of what is due to him. Government will do sacrifice, shift grant. Judicial workers must shift grant too, because it is a two-way activity. Okay. And you have to tolerate each other for things to move.
Now, would it be properly placed to suggest to the leadership of the Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria, Abia State, to suspend their strike, considering the fact that we are in a transitional period where one government is transiting to another, and they wait for the new government to take over, and then they can properly table their grievances and see if the new administration will be able to address those issues?
I've discussed this with them, and they said this is the time they can get what they want from the state.
Okay.
Unless the state do not want judiciary to be functional until the exit of the administration. And that is where it ends me. And that is why I want to call on government. Like I said, let's a little to the right, a little to the left to get things moved.
All right. Thank you so much, Uchenna Obigwe, NLC Chairman, Abia State. We really appreciate you making out time to join us on short notice. We really appreciate that the NLC is wading into the matter, and we hope that this strike action will be resolved and suspended very shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, you heard the interaction there with the NLC chairman, Abia State, in the person of Uchenna Obigwe, and the position of the NLC with regards to the 14-day strike action as declared by the members of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JSU, Abia State chapter. Right now, we are trying to get in touch with the chairman of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria in the person of Johnson Chinedu, who will be speaking with us shortly. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Am I on to Johnson Chinedu?
Yes, my name is Prince SACN, yes.
Okay, nice to have you join us. We understand that the Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria, Abia State Chapter, is currently at Government House. What exactly is the situation as we speak?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
We understand that the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, Abia State Chapter, as we speak, is at Government House. Is that
no? We are not at. No, it's not correct. We are not in Government House.
Okay, but your strike action is definitely on. So, what is the situation? Today is probably day 3, if I'm correct, of the strike action. Has there been any progress made so far?
First and foremost, let me correct one impression. We are not on a 14-day strike. We are on an indefinite strike.
Oh,
we resumed an indefinite strike. Yes, I was.
Hello? Hello? Okay, we'll see if we can make that reconnection with the chairman of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, Abia State Chapter. But you heard him there. He said, look, he wanted to clear the air. It's no longer a 14-day strike action as declared by the members of the Judiciary Staff Union, but that they are now on an indefinite strike. And that is quite a change in scenario as compared to what we had, the initial information we had, especially when we had Uchenna Obigwe, who said the NLC was greeted with an official document stating that the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, Abia State Chapter, was going on a 14-day strike action as declared by its members. But now we hear that it is an indefinite strike action. So this brings up a number of questions. What happens to the judicial system in Abia State, considering the fact that the election petition tribunal is already in effect? Are they going to suspend hearing of the tribunal? What happens to cases that were supposed to be heard at this period in time? So automatically from that statement by the chairman of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, Abia State Chapter, it means the judicial system of Abia State is completely as we speak, inactive. Operations have been grounded, as it were. And so for those of you or those of us listening to us right now, it's not who do not have an idea or who are not informed about the latest development. Well, we hear the truth is that activities in Abia State's judiciary have been grounded initially by a 14 days strike action as declared by members of the Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria, Abia State Chapter. I believe we have the chairman back online. Hello, good morning. Hello. 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 Okay, we're still trying to reconnect. A bit of network challenges there. These things do happen. Of course, don't forget, we're in Nigeria. All right. So, as I was saying, now the strike which commenced on Tuesday has been enforced by the Abia State Chapter of Josun. Despite, the phone is ringing. Let's hope that we can get him back on the line. Hello, Chairman.
Hello?
Hello, Chairman. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. We apologize. The line went off as we were having that conversation. You were clearing the air that it is no longer a 14-day strike action, but now an indefinite strike. When did this change happen?
From the letters we wrote, you would observe that we never mentioned that the strike was a 14-day strike. What the people are misconceiving to be is the 14 days ultimatum to commence on or resume the suspended strike. That's what you have there on the letter. So from our national headquarters directed us to resume our suspended strike. And as it is, it was never changed along the line. So what we did was, after the expiration of the 14 days ultimatum to the government, then we now resumed our suspended strike. And that strike will continue until those demands are met.
Okay, Chairman, let's be clear on your demands. You are demanding the inclusion amongst civil servants to benefit from leave allowance payment announced by the state government in March of 2023. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Not only 2023. What we are asking now, JUSUN, the judiciary has since 2015 been paid the annual basic and annual leave allowance.
Okay, since 2015.
And the reason being that the government is saying that it is captured in our consolidated judiciary salary structure. But if you look into our consolidated judiciary salary structure table, you will discover that what you have there is a leave bonus. And a leave bonus, by the word bonus, it means appreciation. Because even by law, every civil servant knows that the annual leave allowance is 10% of his basic.
Okay.
But the leave bonus contained in the conduit table is 5%. So it cannot be seen as our leave allowance. So that is one of the demands.
Okay.
So I want to correct something. The second one is that in April 20th April 2015, we signed an MOU with the government. And the government said that they have approved a conduit for Abia State Judiciary with effect from January 1st. And January, February, March, and April, the arrears of those months have not been paid for 8 years now.
Okay.
Then,
now,
we also have...
Go ahead.
So, we also are asking that funds that are appropriated by the House of Assembly for the judiciary should be given to the judiciary as contained in the various agreements we signed with government. And most recently, the law signed by the Nigerian President Buhari, recently.
Okay. Now, what is the reaction of the state government to your indefinite strike action as we speak? Has there been any feedback from the state government regarding this strike action?
No. What we expect the government to do is to implement the agreement signed with the union. And as you understand from our demands, the number one there, which is in the swearing in of the chief judge of the state, has not been done. And as well as the other ones that are listed there, none has been done. So that is why the union is still continuing with the strike.
Okay. Now, have you considered the fact that the state is in transition in the sense that the current government is outgoing and a new government is coming in? Does this really strike you as the right time to ground the entire judicial system of the state?
We have not grounded anywhere. What we did is to bring to the front burner issues that are affecting and troubling the judiciary. That is what we have done. For over 8 years, we have been writing letters.
But the courts are not working. Some of the High Court is under lock and key. So how haven't you grounded the judicial system of the state?
That is what I'm telling you. That if those things that are contained in our request before the governor are implemented, those agreements are done, then everywhere, everything will be in place. We'll start working the way it's supposed to be, as enshrined in the Constitution.
But is this the right time to carry out this strike action?
There has never been any right time. Anytime we throw up our request for these agreements to be fulfilled, they will always be citing one reason or the other. In 2020, we wrote to the government, they said there was COVID. In 2021, we wrote to them, they said they were preparing for election, minimum wage. In 2020, we wrote again. They said we were in 2022, last year. They said we were approaching election year. In January, we would have done this. So each time, when is it appropriate for us to be giving our entitlements? When is it the right time for us to put up a demand for a better working condition, a better living wage? So there's no, in 2015, when we embarked on the strike, we were the strike until a new administration came in and it was paid. So let them show the path of peace and do most of those demands. It is things that are surmountable, and everything will return back to normal.
All right. Thank you so much, Chairman, for making our time, despite the short notice, to share with Abians and Nigerians the current state of situation with judiciary workers in Abia State. Thank you so much, Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sure.
All right. Okay. There you heard it from the chairman of the Judiciary Staff Union of Abia State, in the person of Johnson Chinedu, and the fact that it's no longer a 14 days warning strike, it's now indefinite, and they are calling on the state government to implement the agreement as agreed by both parties, and that would once again reactivate activities as far as the judicial sector and judicial system of the state is concerned. Well, that sums it up for this edition of Standpoint, the last for the week. We'll be back fresh with more insights on Monday as we continue to look at developments as they evolve. Special thanks also to the NLC chairman, Abia State, in the person of Uchenna Obigwe, for making out time to also be part of the conversation this morning. That's it on Standpoint. Up next is Newslight, and of course, keep it locked on Rapid 96.5, the sound of your city. I am Cameron John the Beloved, also known as the Controversial, signing out.
Rapid 96.5 FM News.
The Minister of Information, Lal Mohammed, has accused the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, of failing to correct his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, over his controversial comment. Speaking with journalists after the Federal Executive Council meeting